Good evening, friends! Today I want to talk with you about food crafting in Albion Online, that in a way that's a little different, maybe even shocking for some of you. A couple days ago, I decided to dive deep into the food market, calculating profits, costs, and everything as usual, but what I found was actually a bit sad, and completely different from what most players think about this business. So in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what I discovered and why food crafting might not be what you expect. Let's get started. So, a couple of days ago, I decided to dig deeper into the food market on the Europe server. My goal was simple: to see if food crafting is really worth investing my time and silver in. But as I went through the prices and calculated the costs of most popular foods, I realized something surprising. Almost all of the well-known and widely used foods are simply not profitable at all, at least in the current market. And to show you exactly what I mean, let's take an example: the beef stew, including all of its enchanted versions. Now, as you can see, I started by calculating the crafting cost of beef stew. To make things faster and more accurate, I used our favorite tool, Albion Online Grind. And here's the shocking part: almost every version of beef stew is losing silver if you craft it without focus. Even when I calculated it with focus, the result was still disappointing. At best, you're either breaking even or making something like 30,000 to 100,000 silver profit for 100 pieces of food, which is basically nothing compared to the time and resources you're putting in. So, because of that, I decided to try the same strategy we used before with potions, cutting down the costs as much as possible. That means searching for the cheapest cities to buy resources, and even crafting the sauces for the enchanted food myself instead of buying them directly. The question is, did this strategy actually work? Well, let's find out together. Keep watching and see the results with your own eyes. At this point, I decided to start crafting the sauces myself, but of course, sauces require a huge amount of chopped fish. When I checked the market prices for chopped fish, they were way too high, so I thought of another approach. Why not buy the raw fish, chop it myself, and then turn it into sauce? That way I could save a big chunk of silver and lower the overall cost of enchanted food. So at this stage, I decided to use a special tool to calculate the cost of chopped fish. The idea behind this tool is simple. It takes the market price of the fish, divides it by the number of chopped pieces you get from it, and then shows you exactly how much each piece will cost for every fish type. Not only that, but it also sorts the fish from the cheapest to the most expensive, saving you a lot of time doing manual calculations and comparisons. This way, I could immediately see which fish was the most efficient to buy and chop for sauce crafting. Now, after doing all of this and lowering the production cost of the sauce, the difference was actually huge. For the basic sauce, I managed to save around 500 silver per unit. For the fancy sauce, the savings went up to about 2,600 silver. And for the special sauce, I saved nearly 5,860 silver per unit. That's a massive difference, and it completely changes the outcome of food crafting profitability. Trey. So now, let's go back and recalculate our food after these new adjustments. The question is, will these savings on sauces actually make a difference in the final profit, or will food crafting still be a losing game? Let's check the numbers and find out. As you can see, without using focus, food crafting is still not profitable, even after all the adjustments. But once you add focus into the equation, things start to change. The profits might not look impressive on flat-tier foods, but as soon as you move into enchanted versions, point 1, point 2, and point 3, the margins become noticeably better. Of course, using focus means you can only craft smaller amounts, but the silver per unit is much higher, which makes the effort far more rewarding. So, since we've seen that to make real profit with food, you absolutely need focus, the next big question is about specialization. How should you spec into food crafting if, without focus, it's not profitable at all? Here's a little trick I've personally used that can help you out. Always pay attention to the daily crafting bonuses. For example, just a couple of days ago, there was a 20% crafting bonus on bags. Naturally, this created a huge demand for food in those specific crafting stations because players were mass-producing bags all day long. And what happens when demand spikes? The food prices go up, sometimes a lot. So all you need to do is check what the daily bonus is, especially for refining, then look at what type of food the stations are consuming, craft that food, and sell it in the city with the bonus. This way, instead of losing silver, you'll actually make a solid profit. For example, let's take Tier 4 salad, which is commonly used to feed bag crafting stations. On the bonus day, if we had crafted and sold it, each stack could have made around 750,000 silver profit. And guess what? That day, more than 22,000 pieces of salad were sold in the market. That means in just one single bonus day like that, you could almost max out your salad specialization. And the same logic applies to other types of food as well. And that's it for today. As we saw in this example, this is how you can start crafting food, the tricks that can help you cut costs, and how to look for opportunities in different types of food. Always make sure to calculate carefully and never ignore the sales volume, because the bigger the profit looks on paper, the harder it usually is to actually sell. And of course, if you want to save time and speed up your calculations, just like I did, don't forget to try the Albion Online grind tool. Use my discount code THEX to get 10% off for life on your subscription. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.